Okay, winning the die roll in the final match of this particular tournament, and of course, want to play first. Still want to get to that 5 mana for anyone else. This is a sketch keep. I'm gonna keep it. Probably shouldn't. I only have an Air of the Wilds to play, but one more land gets me a Glacial Stalker as well, and I hate mulliganing in this format just in general. It's also awkward because I'm 2 untapped lands in the opening hand means I'm drawing a lot of tapped lands, so I'm going to be pretty far behind. Really only going to get punished if my opponent has an aggressive deck, such as with lots of Monastery Swift Spears. But the Air of the Wild should help us handle a lot of that. Ghost Fireblade's nice. Wish I had that on the opening hand, but whatever. At least I'm guaranteed something to do next turn. Currently still not going to block the Monastery Swift Spear, even though my air is guaranteed to trade, but I can take a point of damage before anything crazy gets out of hand. Save the air to hold back something with a little bit more power. Like a Leaping Master! Though I'm still not sure if I want to trade those two. Alright, Swiftwater Cliffs gets played. We'll get this Ghostfire Blade down. Probably just going to take 3 to 4 damage here to get the Ghostfire Blade online now that the Air of the Wilds can start getting big. And we just want to kind of go late. I'd rather the air trade was something a little bit more impactful than the Leaping Master. We'll see if my opponent's playing Team Red. This is a weird color combination for a Monastery Swift Spear deck, having Forest in it. But it could be just a red-green beatdown Fasto deck. Opponent's happy to hang back, which I imagine is good for me. Especially because I just get to draw into more lands, even though it's still the lands we already have. Do I want to equip or get the Glacial Stalker down? Generally, it's better to put the board out. Opponent doesn't seem to have a whole lot. I just really like getting this Air of the Wilds into a 4/4. Just full-on defensive mode. We'll do that next turn. Let's develop the board. These are the basics after all. So we're a ways away from casting Anafenza. We still need 2 more colors. We need both white and black still. We have Force Away up, and then soon Jeskai Charm once we get our white online. Alright, it is a teamer deck. Teama. Which means some of these cards are questionable. All of these cards are fairly questionable. Alright, so we put in the Ghostfire Blade up on this Morph to get ourselves a big old dude. I could start attacking. Have a 3/3 plus a Force Away with Death Touch is kind of nice. If I have a 3/3 attacking, just blocks a Summit Prowler. I just want to hang around and be alive longer. So the reason I want the 4/4 Death Toucher more than anything else, or just a random 4/4. Yeah, I just want the random 4/4. Plus my Force Away. That is nice. Alright, hanging out. Allows my opponent to keep developing big old board states, but that's fine. Air will probably trade with the Summit Prowler here. While the 4/4 holds off the rest. Once we draw a land, we'll start getting more action out. Either flipping the Glacial Stalker, or if we get one of the colors we need, we'll play like the Mastodon or something. Bloodfire Mentor. Ooh, that's going to be good in this game since we're both just kind of chilling. It only has 2 cards to work with, but still. Hey, there's one of the colors we need, and a land. Still can't do a whole lot, so I'm still just going to pass the turn. I'm definitely not looking to be attacking in, because my opponent can just trade off some dorky spells. Soon enough, I'll want to do that with like a big old Glacial Stalker, or we'll get one of our flyers out, I'm sure, soon enough. Another Swift Spear. Opponent now has no cards in hand. So I like where we're at. Here comes 6. Get that Mastodon down. I think I'm just going to flip over my Morph, though. And keep Force Way up if we need it. I do want to start putting pressure on my opponent in the near future, but I think with how many blockers there are out, I'm going to need to get one of my evasion creatures online. My opponent has 3 cards in hand. Did I miss something? Maybe I just was miscounting or looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. I thought my opponent just ran out all the cards he or she had. I was obviously mistaken. Alright, lots of beats here, which means something like a... I need to start getting creatures off the board, basically. Oh, shoot! Ah, that was a waste of my life. I'm so annoyed. Glacial Stalker should have been flipped by now. If there's something like the Roar challenge, I can get a really big hit in, and that would not be fantastic. Or I wouldn't get a hit in, my opponent would. So let's play the Swarm of Bloodflies. Start developing the board, and we'll start putting pressure on my opponent. I don't think I died to a Roar challenge yet. Let's say Bloodfire Mentor is the one that is chosen to block. 5, 6, 7. Wait, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'd take 16 damage. Put me in a really bad spot, but I wouldn't be dead right away. So now that this guy's out, I'm probably going to keep Force Away up the entire time, because I think the only thing I'm worried about is a Roar of Challenge, where my opponent then gets attacked with just 20 bazillion creatures, and I'm not going to be able to block. If I draw one more land, that should be really nice, because I'll actually have 5, or I'll have 7 mana to be able to do things at 5. So what was it? Barrageable, there's also a thing. Alright. Does that kill me? I still don't think it's enough to kill me, right? That's still just 16, because that was the same math. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is not good for me. And I definitely want to start getting things off the board. Alright. I need to kill some shizzle here. Jungle Hall is nice. Definitely gonna play it. Or I don't know. Do I want to Force Away? I definitely like having another blocker out. If I put as another Falter effect, I'm pretty much just dead no matter what, right? Let's say I bounce the 5-er. Yeah, 4. Yeah, I'm still just dead if there's another like Barrage or if there's the Ferocious. I'll be at 7, so I can't really play around that right now. So I think the best thing to do is to keep adding my blockers out. Now that Force Away is less pivotal. And I do want to start attacking in with my Flyer. I'm not going to be blocking with it, even though all the little dinky dudes are a thing. Still have our 2 white cards hanging out in hand. Dangers of having low white sources with hard castables. But if my opponent's a little bit stalled, Timir Ascendancy, what did that do? Creatures control have haste. We knew that. Oh yes, you draw the card. So this could be close to lethal, because now there's a lot of power coming through. If I only block 1, 2, 3, then I'm still thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. I'm going down to 2. That's a little scary. There could also be like another spell that makes these Swift Spears really dangerous. But if my opponent does do that, like I actually have a lot of good blockers. Alright, so my opponent is trying to rock that out. Interesting. Because it's favorable for me on the blocks here. And it doesn't exactly kill me. I do want to be aware if these Monastery Swift Spears become 3 whatevers. Let's just see how this goes. I could be dead here, and I could be missing something. Put that guy there. If these trade, and this trades, now we're going to put you here and you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess there could be a little bit of a pump, but these are great trades for me. My guy gets huge. I am down to 2. Would love to get an island, or sorry, a plains, so I could just charm some lifelink into my life. That was not to be had. I'm down to 2 life. If a plains comes down, the Sleeping Master gets me, but we'll keep the Force Away up. We're just going to morph and then have another blocker and have Force Away available. Not too sure why the Bloodfire Mentor attacked. I'm going to try to close the game out, though, with a swarm of Bloodflies quickly. Because I think that's a better strategy than holding it back for blocking. Force Away is kind of our, hopefully, kind of like a Trumpy-ish, Cardi-ish thing. Another Falter effect or direct damage kills me. So there's a lot of cards I could die to here. Alright, we'll get our blocks on. You go there. I don't think it entirely matters. We're trying to think what's the safest bet, but you're there. You're there. Trumpet Blast could be what my opponent's trying to go for, which would kill some guys, but I'd at least get to force away the Bloodfire Mentor and not die. This is not Trumpet Blast. This is Dragon Scale Boon. Ability targeting Bloodfire Mentor, which would kill me. So definitely bouncing you out. Yes, I would like to use this card. Murder's Cut, that's fantastic. I think Anafenza I don't care about. I'd rather have my Jeskai Charm in case I draw the white source to gain life, because then I'm in really good shape. Warden's regenerating, that's okay. We can even Murderous Cut if needed, but we don't. This guy continues to get big. And we have really good defense, and my opponent has no board. Yay! Hey, a white source. And a life. That's really good. Can I just kill my opponent here? 8, 19, 11, 12, plus 2 blockers? Yeah, we were fine. I was just going to attack with these two. Opponent was tapped out. Yeah. Definitely won it there. Opponent tried to go for it, but didn't play around any spell I might have had to interact. So we didn't actually see a lot of power from my opponent, just like sort of like supposing aggressive-y deck, but with kind of dork cards and Teamer. I don't want to bring in anything. I want to stay alive long enough, but I want this Embodiment of Spring. I think we're pretty well set against what my opponent has. Don't want Ride Down, we're not the aggressor. Disdainful Stroke, there wasn't too much. There's the Morph guys, but I think my other cards are just better against that, so we'll run it back this way. Back here. Opponent is obviously playing first. We've got an okay keep. We at least get to play our Morph and our Mardu Heartpiercer. We can't do the Force Away yet, but that will be good against my opponent. My opponent has a really aggressive start. Well, that's not it. I was going to say, with like the multiple... Oh, I guess that is a 1-drop. I was thinking about the red 1-drop. That one's a little bit more scary than the Kintree Warden. Still, neither of them are that particularly scary. Hey, Mesh Away. That will be good. Probably didn't need to start with that guy, but I'm just happy to have plains right now. Interesting that there is also all lands that don't enter the, or that end of the battlefield tapped going to be drawing. A little scary there. Highland Games. Taking some damage. Take 3 next turn, because I'm probably just going to I'm going to take a little bit more damage. I don't have a 2-drop, right? No, so we'll rock this guy out for now. Gain our life. Next turn we'll play the Glacial Stalker. Still won't be blocking. I do want to be trying to take creatures off my opponent's board because of those falter effects. My opponent just wants to be attacking. The Barrage of Boulders is an interesting initial deck inclusion, but I do want to be aware of it. Taking 3 here. Why is it even asking me for blockers? I can't block. I'm confused. Hey, burn away. That will be good. We get this guy down. Again, still happy to take 3. Hopefully attack in with my morph and get the heart, have the heart piercer set up. And then I'll be in pretty good shape. Still need to draw a blue source. Ooh, we're going to take out the Leaping Master. Even though technically we haven't seen any white from my opponent. Could be a thing. Might even try getting the Kintry Warden gone. Just because it won't have... There's no regeneration mana up. Might as well. Nice card. Still need blue, though. Easy attack here. You know these guys trade. I still get the Mardo Heart Piercer trigger to start taking things off. What's my opponent trying to do? Oh, my opponent wants to block with Bloodfire Mentor is what my opponent wants to do. But was not in the correct phase yet. That's perfectly okay. So who do I kill? Do I kill the Leaping Master? It's just a 2-1. This is just a 2-1. This Regenerator, I don't think I care at all about, right? I'm going to Leaping Master in case for some random reason there ends up being a white source. 2 life's going to happen anyway. They're basically the same at that point. Why not? Goodbye. I'll have 5 next turn, but no blue. Probably just going to morph the Abomination. Could keep up Burn Away. That seems relevant, but it doesn't. Just hang out until I get one of my blue sources, which I have a lot of. Opponent's stuck on mana and just has very low power cards. Ooh, Morph. Wouldn't have minded my Heart Piercer taking that guy out, but guess we all can't win. Ooh, good. I have a nice 5-drop. My opponent's tapped out, so if I attack, best thing my opponent can do would be double block. It's still just a 1-for-1. Burn Away could get my opponent, but I'd rather just go ahead and rock out my Mastodon. Because I'm in pretty decent shape here. And that guy can start attacking through the current board situation. Barrage of Boulders, still a thing. I'm aware. It's not an important thing at the moment. These removal spells, once I have a better board state, are going to start just picking off creatures. So if I stay above 10 life, we should be okay. And eventually, that blue mana I'm sure will come down. Opponent has life gain from this, though. So my opponent just tried to build a really quick, aggressive deck, but in this format that does not work. Ooh, Savage Punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, attacking with the Rotting Mastodon. See what happens. Then I'll probably just Savage Punch, start clearing the way. Because I can do a face down plus a Savage Punch. No, opponent's doing the same thing. He's just going to block with the Bloodfire Mentor. That's fine. So if my opponent's just willing to do that each turn, then there's really no point for me to attack with the Mastodon. Who's dying? I guess the Morph is dying? Is there anything that could flip at that? No, so we're doing... Kill the Morph. Oh, I should have the Mastodon to be safer. That was silly of me. I mean, I don't think there's anything for 1 red, but I think better play would have been using the Mastodon with that Savage Punch. Still need blue. Once we get blue, man, are we in for some shapes here. Again, I start attacking with both my guys now. Assuming Kintry Warden, my opponent wants to use the mana, which I assume will happen. Now that's interesting. That's a dead card in my opponent's hand right now, because it's, or on the board in general. I would just keep my regeneration mana up, to be honest. We'll attack with both of these guys. I could attack with my morphs as well. My opponent doesn't know what they are. Thing is, if they trade with these Highland games, I'm going to be sad. I should have such better cards than that. There's really no reason. At least gotta get 2 points of damage in here. And then the Heir of the Wilds will be down to also start being fantastic. I'm okay with that 2 for 1. I'm not going to waste a burn away for it. Just clearing the board out. It's fine. Don't mind the 2 life. Or the 4 life, rather. 2 and 2. It's not the name of my particular game here. Just follow with the Heir of the Wilds. And that'll be that. My opponent, this only gets to activate once a turn with 1 mana. So only 1 creature can't block, and with my opponent on the back foot, even though having more life than me, I'm not too worried about it. Opponent does have all the blocks on, but hey, we finally have ways to start doing some damage. Alright. Why don't we attack with everything? Yeah. I could have, like, flipped first, but I might be able to get my opponent in little mini ways. If my opponent doesn't block the right morph, then I'm still going to get my loot on. I don't even really need the loot. So it should be okay. Opponent keeps doing that. Forgetting to go into blocks, and then trying to block with the Bloodfire Mentor. Who are you blocking with? Already Mastodon. I assume this guy's going in front of somebody. You got the right one, friend. Oh no, go for the other one. I would love for this guy not to be blocked. I'm not going to flip him right now, because I don't think there's a reason. My opponent doesn't really have anything that would make that guy die, right? 1, 2, 3. I'll just wait. Instead of getting 2 points of damage in, 2 extra points, well, I guess it'd be 3 points. I'd rather just keep stuff available to like flip at end of turn or have burn away or force away available. Just do things on my opponent's turn seems nice. Summit Prowler. That'll probably take a Master of the way this next turn. I want him flipped, even though it doesn't turn on my Ferocious. Just because I want to be able to attack in the air and loot. Hey, a Citadel. So let's Master away the Summit Prowler first. My opponent can't really block. And an Abomination of Gadol. That's nice. Opponent has no mana, so it's pretty much just a done deal game at this point. I think my opponent... Well, there could be some really powerful rare, but with only 2 colors of mana in hand, it's going to be really hard for my opponent to... especially in Team, I don't think there's anything in there that really gets my opponent back from this. Not to be overly confident. I think we just ditched the Sandstep Citadel, right? Sure, I wouldn't mind more mana, but all these cards are very playable and relevant. Yes, please. What mana do I need more of? Could have just saved it for the next loop, but I do want to keep having my mana out so I have very expensive cards. This allows me to play Burn Away and Force Away, or flip. Force Away. Another Summit Prowler. Probably not too relevant by this stage of the game. Do I want to waste one of my cards on it, though? Attacking with this guy for sure. Attacking with all my dudes. They're all still good attacks. especially while my opponent's tapped out. I wonder what my opponent's draft was like. Just getting like a curve on that does seem appropriate, but is also kind of a waste of time. Sure. Goodbye. Why not? I already tapped out at the blue, so I didn't have my Force Away available. Yeah, I can only imagine my opponent kind of, I don't know, not as experienced with the format, picking cards that tend not to, or just trying to see. Actually, I could see that being a case. Maybe my opponent was trying to try out a deck like, is there any way to get a nice aggressive deck? I mean, having 2 Monster Swift Spears and a really low curve does seem good. This is a Trumpet Blast Barrage of Boulders deck, but this format just does not support it. Anything worth your at now? Just keep on attacking. All right. I think we just play another Abomination. Because why not? It's evasive. I couldn't have won, right? Oh, I could play both these, huh? Yeah, maybe I could have. Bounced and killed. Was that enough to get through? 3? Yeah, it would have been exactly lethal. Whoops. Should have paid a little closer attention. Maybe I wouldn't have done that because there is technically mana available this turn. Still just gonna go ahead and play the Gudul, though. The Abomination of Gudul. Regen? No. Oh, see, there is a Dragon Scale boon. Trading who? Targeting my Abomination Gudul. That is a style points, I must say. Doesn't matter? Not really. But now that I have another flyer, might as well just play this one. Yeah, and my opponent's like, okay, if you're ditching that, that's it. And my opponent obviously just was already to concede with the Abomination being a thing. So that's that. Kind of an unexciting last game, but that tends to happen, I'm finding, the Swiss. Like, if I, say, lose the first or second round, and then we go into, like, someone's with another 1-1, the deck may not be particularly fantastic. So it's not of a fun story as when you're doing the 8-4 to get to the finals, but that makes sense. But hey everyone, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. I'm Ryan from Mana Bluff. Comment, subscribe, and like on YouTube. I try to respond to those. I will always promise to respond to the manabluff.com comments if you actually respond on our website. And then you can find me on Twitter too. Say hi, __RJH___. It's also where I announce things like if I'm not drafting, if I'm not posting anything because I'm crazy busy or something, or just my random thoughts. It's not a particularly exciting Twitter feed, I'm not going to lie, but it does keep you updated to stuff I'm doing in my drafts and my draft schedule. Thanks again, gang. See you next Friday. Peace.